Now, there is one exception, and I don't even love teaching this thing to you because inevitably people will try to use this as a shortcut or a crutch, and it can break the whole idea of a function. Now, remember, a function, a custom function, we make these custom functions and we want to build them like black boxes where the function, it doesn't matter what's happening inside the function, it takes input and produces output. We don't really want that function to be interacting directly with stuff outside of the function or rely on certain things to be true about the program, because we want to, ideally, if we write a function, let's say we write a function that like produces an average of all the numbers it receives and spits that out. You could use that if, let's say, you're an accountant or you do something that requires that. You might use that function in 20 different programs. And you could just take that same function and use it all over the place because it doesn't matter how it works. It just takes the input, all of the numbers, and it produces the output, which is the average. So the global keyword breaks that. It breaks down the wall between the two universes. And that's sometimes a lot easier when you're writing a program. But what it immediately does is it makes it so that that function requires something to exist outside of itself. Let me give you an example of why that is. So there's one change between that last piece of code and this piece of code. And that is, on the first line of the function definition, I'm now saying global X. All that means is that when inside the function, anytime you see X, it's not referring to an X that lives only in that function anymore. It's referring to an X that lives outside that function. So it changes everything, that one line. Let's just take that and add it. Global X. Now, remember what happened before when I ran the program, right? Let's do that output with this commented out just for a reminder. Okay, so we have X equals 20, X equals 33, X equals 20. If I do this, and I reprint that, or I rerun that, notice now the X has been changed to 33. So now that I'm using the global X, what happens line by line here is first, it equals 20. Then we run this function, which uses the global X. So when it hits this line, X, the X that lives outside the function, because it's using the global, is now changed to 33. So it prints right now X equals 33. But when it comes to this line after the function, the global X has been changed to 33. So it prints 33 again. So sometimes when you're building a function, it feels a lot easier to just use global instead of using parameters and arguments and return values, because then you can interact directly with stuff outside the function. The problem is, now if I want to use that function somewhere else, I have to have a global X for it to interact with, or else it won't work. So there's a big trade-off. It immediately says this function is probably only going to work with this program, which gets rid of one of the best things about custom functions, is that reusability. It also makes it a lot more difficult to debug a function, by the way. So when we're building functions in this class, I really want you to avoid using the global. There's a few times where I'm going to specifically say, hey, just use the global for this one. But most of the time, we're going to use parameters and return values to get data in and out.